Assalamualaikum students, how are you all? Hope you all will be fine and safe today. Today I am going to summarizing the chapter once again, the Great Expectation, which is the syllabus of August. Now move on the topic. This is your Oxford Reading Circle book 8, Great Expectation. In this chapter we learn the story about the Christian boy that whose name was Prep, and that was his family name, and Christian name was Philip. But Prep and Philip, both of the name was no longer he himself called Pip. Pip was for the family name, and his sister Miss Jo Gargari, she has married to blacksmith. As Pip never saw his parents and mother and never saw their likeness and photograph for long days, but he goes to tombstone of them unreasonably. He imagined that the shape of the letters his father gave him the idea that was the square, stark dark man in curly black hair, and he inscription the character of father and mother. Also Gregory, wife of above, the childish conclusion not long, which were arranged in a neat row beside. He being born on their backs with their hands in their trousers pocket, and had never taken them out in this state of existence, but which were arranged in a neat row beside their grave, and were sacred to the memory of 5 little brothers of mine, who gave up trying to get a living exceedingly early, raw afternoon towards an evening. Within 20 miles of the sea, he toured the country down by the river. At such a time, found out for certain infant children, that was they had first most vivid and broad impression. The identity of things seems to have been gained on a memorable evening. Sometime that this bleak place overgrown, which Natal was the churchyard, sudden and strong, that he made it go head over heels before, and saw the steeple under his feet. Darn me if he couldn't eat said the man, with the threatening shake of his head, and if I hadn't half a mind to it. Which the wind was rushing was the sea, and that the small bundle of shivers growing afoot of it all and beginning to cry was Pip. He believed that they were fat, though I was at that time undersized for my years and not strong. Once more he sat him straight at me, give it mouth, pep, pep, sir. He shivered and glared and growled, and whose teeth chattered in his death as he seized me by the chin. He gave a tremendous dip and roll that the church jumped over its own weathercock. After each question he tattled over a little more so as to give me a greater sense of helplessness and danger. He timidly explained, also Grigornia, that's my mother. Oh, said he coming back, and he said that further longer. Your mother? He started, made a short run, and stopped and looked over his shoulder. He tattled again, and you get the whittle. He tattled again, you bring them both to me. He will have heart and life out. He was dreadfully frightened and so giddy that he clung to him with both hands and said, if you would kindly please to let me keep upright, he shouldn't be sick and he could attend more. After darkly looking at his leg, the several times he came closer to the tombstone, took him by both arms and tattled him back as far as he could hold him, so that his eyes looked most powerfully down into mine, and mine looked most helplessly into his. Yes, sir, said him too, late of his parish. Oh, he muttered then, considering who would he live with, supposing you are kindly let to live, which I hadn't made up my mind about. A fearful man, all in coarse, grey, with a great iron on his leg, a man with no head and with broken shoes, with an old rag tied round his head. He was soaked in water and smothered in mud, lamed by stone and cut by flints, and stung by nettle, and torn by bears, who limped and shivered and glared and glowed, chattered his head and seized by the chin. He hugged his shuddering body in both his arms towards the low church wall. He saw him go. He looked in young eyes as he were eluding the hands of the dead people, stretching up cautiously out of their grave, and twist upon his ankle and pull him in. When he saw him turning, he set his face towards home and made the best use of his legs, but presently he looked very shoulder and saw his going on again towards the river. The picking his way with his 4 feet among the great stone dropped into the marshes there. That young man hears the word he speaks. It is in vain for a boy to attempt to hide warm in bed. He'll tuck himself up. He may draw the clothes over him. Man will softly creep his way to him and tear him open. I said that I would get him the file, and I would get him what? Broken bits of wood I could, and would come to him at the better early in the morning. He brings lot me the old battery over yonder sign, concerning having seen such a person as me, or any person somever. You shall be let to live. You fail or you go from my words in any particular, no matter how small it is. Your heart and your liver shall be tore out, roasted and ate. Say, Lord, strike you dead if you don't. He said, he took me down. He pursued, he remembered what you have undertook. You remember that you get home. Go, good night, sir. I faltered. Looky here. He asked the question whether you are to be let to live. What a file is. And you know what whittle is? He says yes. Then he held went arms in an upright position on the top of the stone and went on these fearful terms. He looked all around for the horrible young man and could see no sign of him, but he was frightened again and ran home without stopping. He like an unhooked calf upon a pole, the man limping on toward his litter. If he were the prey, come to life and come down and going back to hook again. But he saw the cattle lifting their heads to gaze after him. He wondered whether they thought so too. He looked horribly and stirred, standing upright, beckoned by which the sailors stirred. Think when you were near it, the other a gibbet with some chain hanging it, to which had once held a prey. The intermixed of the edge of the river, he couldn't faintly make out the only black things in all this prospect that seemed to be standing upright. So now the students, as you know, I have explained and summarized all the chapter once again, which is the great expectation. Hope you will get it. अब आप लोगों को क्या करना है? As usual, before this month, you did a work of June and July. कि जैसे आप लोगों ने जून और जुलाई का काम किया है, उसी तरीके से आप लोग अगस्त का भी टाइटल पेज बनाओगे. चैप्टर का टाइटल पेज बनाना है. देन आफ्टर आप लोगों को 1 पेज राइटिंग करनी है. और इस लेसन्स के चैप्टर के जो भी क्वेश्चन आंसर एंड एक्सरसाइजेज होंगे वो ग्रुप में मैं डाल दूंगा. देन यू हैव टू फॉलो दैट इन द सेम वे. आपको उसी तरीके से करना है जैसे कि आप लोगों ने जून एंड जुलाई का काम किया है. बट ऑल वर्क should be neat and clean. तमाम का तमाम काम साफ सुथरा होना चाहिए. And in good writing, कि अच्छी राइटिंग में भी वो काम होना चाहिए. Okay now students, now it's time to leave. Bye. Take care. Allah Hafiz.